Hey there, GameLeapers, what's going on, guys? This is Coach Cheeks, and in today's video, we have the changes for patch 13.14. Guys, I want to know what you're thinking about these changes in the comments section, whether it's to the champions you might play or play against, whether it's to the items or some of the stuff you might interact with in the game. Please let us know in the comment section what's up. Also, if you're enjoying our recent Season 13 content, make sure to leave a like down below. But guys, like, you can play these buff champions, you can stop playing the nerf champions, but at the end of the day, man, you're still going to be pretty much the same player, therefore in the same elo. You have to change. Like, you as a player have to improve in order to get elo. Like, do you think Faker in Season 3 really took off because it was all like Season 3 meta based or patch note based? It was because, man, he became a challenger player. We can teach you on our website, our challenger players and coaches, how to do just that, man, because we've done it and we've done it for others as well. So if you do want to know what the secret ingredients are, head on over to the GameLeap website, link down below, description, comment section, and get exclusive access to our library of content by signing up. Now let's get into the notes. So 13.14, the buff champions. Now for Aatrox, your base damage in your Q, even though this is going down, the total AD ratio is going up. And Riot has specified here that if you have over 101 total AD, this is going to be a buff. So in the late game, this is going to be really nice. Also, the Q's minion damage, so your actual damage to minions, is increasing based on your level. This is going to help you with your wave clear, especially in the later phases of a game. Diana, your W shield strength. This is going to scale more off your AP, still the same amount of bonus HP, but also here the base damage is up by 5. These are really nice buffs for Diana. Maybe this will see Diana players maxing their W second after their Q, and also here the damage per orb is also going up as far as the AP goes. So not the base damage, the actual AP on this is going up too, so the more AP you get, the more damage this is going to deal. So I can see a W max Diana second. Also here your E's AP ratio, so not only your W is getting buffed, but your E is also getting buffed. This is going to scale off 60% of your AP, not 50%. These look like really nice Diana buffs, whether you're playing her not only in the jungle, but also in the mid lane. You have way more one-shot potential now. So Rocket Belt Diana, this looks really good. Moving on, we have Lissandra. Now your passive no longer stops at the final frames before detonation. Also, your passive here is going to follow enemies into brush if they were being chased. This is huge. So fog is no longer actually going to stop, champions from escaping your passive shadow. But that's not all for Lissandra, because your Q is now going to slow all enemies hit rather than just the first champion who cops it from your eye shard. Also, the missile is going to cast from the position post-cast rather than pre-cast. This means you can Q flash. This is a really nice change as well. Now the heal in your ultimate, the actual amount is not only increasing, but it's also scaling so much more based off your AP. So if you're building just like full AP Lissandra, don't know why else you wouldn't, maybe this is encouraging you more to go like maybe Ludens and, full damage rather than Everfrost. Some people might go Morellos and you're missing out on a bit of AP. But yeah, hopefully you get my point here. Like, you're getting more heal on your ultimate based on the AP you have, and also the actual base heal is going up as well. And also your ultimate's logic has been updated here slightly around stopping dashes. So these are really nice changes for Lissandra. Just like Diana, these champions look so much better because of these, especially Lissandra. And if there are any list mains out there, please let us know down below just how happy you are. Now moving on, Shaco. Attack damage Shaco is getting some buffs. So your Q's bonus damage is scaling more off your bonus attack damage. This still means though if you're going Stridebreaker, you can still go that build. Also here though, your backstab's bonus crit is going up to 55% from 40%. This is almost a 50% increase. This means if you are going crit, and remember, Infinity Edge is getting buffed in this patch, or changed I should say, to benefit champions who are actually building crit, this will definitely interest Shaco mains. Also here, your ultimate is getting a bug fix, so it now properly propagates Prowler's Claw passive to the clone. So your clone also gets the slow. Shyvana is also getting buffed. Well done, JMO. The Q ratio, so based off your total attack damage, is increasing at later ranks. Also, your next two attacks have increased attack speed when you use your Q, but the cooldown on your Q is going up by a second at each rank. Now your E, the actual mark you give to enemy champions and monsters, etc., the actual on-hit damage is now going to be increased for each 100 AD you have. So if you're building attack damage, so not going like some sort of Frostfire build with Shyvana, if you're building attack damage, this will benefit you a lot, and actually gives you good scaling now as attack damage Shiv. Moving on, we have Volibear. Your passive's AP ratio is increasing, and your W's missing HP heal is also increasing. Honestly though, man, I don't know what these do. Xerath, the next champion getting changed. Your mana pool is going down. Your passive's cooldown is also going up, but your passive's cooldown is getting reduced on unit kill and procs on structures. So this means that when you're killing minions, in other words, encouraging Xerath players to go mid lane, thank goodness, this is going to be more rewarding. Also, your ultimate, the recast you have, it's going from 3 to 5 to 4 to 6. Also, your ultimate's damage, the base damage is going down, and it is scaling less off your AP. But they're putting something in here where your ultimate's bonus damage per champion hit has a base value, and it's also scaling off 5% of your AP. So mid lane Xerath here, yes, you're missing out on a bit of mana early game, but remember, as long as you get to Lost Chapter, you should be sweet, and you can run First Strike Xerath, no worries to get to that quicker, and support Xerath. Well, you're definitely not using this champion as much as you should be if you're playing him down in the bot lane. Now Zyra, plant damage taken from AoE spells is decreasing. The plant damage taken from range auto attacks is increasing. The plant damage to monsters is not going to be based on a percentage anymore, just a base damage that scales with levels. Also, your W seeds on first rank up going from 1 to 2 and a nice quality of life change. Your E is no longer going to lock out flash during the cast. So you actually can flash while using your E now. That sounds great. Also here, your ultimate's cast paradigm, the wall to position, it now actually casts at max range. This is really nice too. So Zyra's getting a few quality of life buffs. I'm not sure how much like these actual changes change that much, like her identity as a support, whether you can play her again in the mid lane, but she definitely looks better on paper here. Now moving into the champion nerfs, Hecarim, your bonus resistances from your W, these are decreasing by 5 at each rank. Then we have Jax, your E's cooldown is going up by 1 second, big deal. Going from 15 seconds down to 9 seconds. By the time you have 5 points in your Counter-Strike, it will be on such a low cooldown anyway. They should have made this a lot higher, I think, but they have put your mana cost for your ultimate back at 100, what it was in the past. Again, I don't really think that's going to mean that much though. So for Jax players out there, keep playing him. These look pretty placebo. Now Karthus, the Q's damage, the base damage is going down, and it is still going to be doubled when isolated, but the actual monster modification damage, this is increasing. So this means jungle Karthus is even better, and his clear might even be quicker with this. I'm not sure like 100% on the numbers and the timings here, but this might actually make jungle Karthus even quicker at clearing camps. Also, your E's mana refund is going down as well. So if you're playing Karthus in the bot lane, I mean, honestly, I still think you can after these nerfs. They really don't look like that severe, so unlucky bot laners. Then we have Kindred, guys. So your health is going back to 610, but you're losing base armor, and your Q cooldown is also going up by 1 second, and the base damage on your Q is going down as well. Even though your base HP is going up, the Q cooldown going up, I think, is important, and also the base damage going down as well. This means as far as your clear goes, of course, and dueling champions in the early game, getting marks is going to be harder, and you are also squishier, so against attack damage champions, you're going to definitely feel this. Now Milio, moving down to the supports here. The burn damage in your passive is decreasing, and your movement speed from your E is also decreasing more at later ranks. But honestly, Milio is really OP just because of his W. I don't know how much these changes are really going to affect him in the support role, and he'll probably still be picked a lot in pro play like he is right now. Now Rel is getting nerfed as well here. So for Rel, your armor is going down, your base armor, and the passive steal you get is going down. The max stacks now is going from 15% to 10%. This is kind of big, like as far as your passive goes, base armor making you squishier for sure. 39 armor is actually so much, but you're still keeping like all of the CC in your kit, so she'll still be Rel, but she will definitely be worse because of these. But because she's so broken anyway, I'm guessing she's still going to be broken. Now moving on to Rengar, your Q's crit conversion is going down, and your base health regen is going down. This affects top lane Rengar, the base health regen, which I think is good for the game. But the Q crit conversion, all you have to do is just not go crit, just go full lethality. You can just go, you know, Duskblade into Prowler's Claw, which they're buffing, maybe even something like Axiom Arc or Edge of Night after this. So many more builds you can go as Rengar. These are really placebo, just like the Jax nerfs. Then we have Rek'Sai, guys. So your E's damage is decreasing, but it is now scaling off your total attack damage, not your bonus attack damage. Then we have your W's damage, which is decreasing by 5 at each rank. And moving on to champion adjustments, Neferi is getting released. Then we have Yorick, who's getting bug fixes, and pretty much for Yorick, the actual just straight up nerfs. I don't know if you guys have seen the changes, but Yorick is pretty much getting nerfed because of these bug fixes. It's a real shame for all you Undertakers out there, so my condolences. Now moving into system buffs, Axiom Arc is getting an ultimate cooldown refund buff, where it's going to now scale off of lethality. Now pretty much you want to be building this, honestly, probably as like a 4th or 5th item. 3rd item, it's still going to be really similar to what it is now, so you're not really like making use of the buff in this 13-14 patch. So maybe you can build like Edge of Night 3rd item, maybe even something like Cyrilda's Grudge or something like this, and then you can go Axiom Arc. So I really think this is a buff in the late game. I don't actually know how good this is though, because ideally you want to build this early on so you get more ultimates off in the early game. Late game, lots of champions have a ton of ability haste, so it becomes like, you know, just less impactful, I guess. But yeah, those are the Axiom Arc buffs. Then we have Prowler's Claw, another lethality lethality item. The lethality is going up to 18 now, the same as the mythics. This is kind of big. Random's Omen, more crit reduction, which is nice for tanks. Spirit Shojin, the cost is going down by 100 gold, and the HP is also going up by 50. These are nice buffs for sure. Spirit Visage is giving you more magic resistance, 10 in fact, so that's a nice 20% increase. Then we have Steris Gauge, the cost is going down by 100 gold, and the HP up by 50, exactly the same as Shojin. Now system nerfs, Gale Force, the cooldown is simply going up to 2 minutes now. System adjustments, blue buff, ability haste it's giving you is now scaling at certain levels, no longer going to be 10. Then we have Ghost going up to 14 seconds. It was going to be 15, but now it's 14. But unfortunately, you're not going to get the duration extension on takedown, so kills and assists. This is actually getting removed. Now, Infinity Edge, the attack damage might be going down, but you're getting more crit damage from this, which is really what the item is for. So if you're building crit, this is going to be better for you. Now, for red buff, the actual burn over 3 seconds, this is actually getting nerfed early game, but it will eventually be the same in the late game. But for melee champions, the slow is going down pretty much at every stage of a game. Now, Static Shiv is getting adjusted here, guys, for the electroshock damage. This is going down at later levels, but all they have to do here, man, like, is really take the AP out of this, and it should be able to be used by champions like Vayne and other champions who don't have good wave clear, attack damage champions, right? I still think LeBlanc is going to go this. The last change here, guys, is to Trinity Force, so the attack speed is going down by 2% to 33. Don't know if that was some sort of meme, but that's the change. But also the threefold strikes attack damage here from 4% to 6%, but it's on 3 stacks. So this is a buff actually for the first 10 attacks. Unfortunately here though, there is no range kind of like cap on this, which I thought they were going to put in. So if you're a Kindred main, Kindred with Trinity Force is still really going to be the same. All right, you're losing 2% of the attack speed, but you're actually getting a buff because of the threefold strikes attack damage change. So those were the changes, guys, for 13-14. Let me know down below in the comment section your thoughts, and to make sure you don't miss our future season 13 uploads, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I will see you on our next one. This has been Coach Cheeks. Peace.